Okay, hello. We're starting this tutorial. It's going to be the letter facade project. It's the last project for this semester. And we're going to do it in a very simple way in Rhino. I'm control tabbing sometimes, and we're going to work with Illustrator. Then we're going to use InDesign to place at the end all our images, the ones that we're working on. Okay, so let's go back to Rhino perspective, and we're going to do a facade project. We're going to analyze a module, and then we're going to take that module and place it in the facade. At the end of the overall, I think it will be around 2 to 3 video tutorials. We'll have 3 different files in Rhino, a couple of them in Illustrator and one in InDesign. So let's start with it and just follow along, okay, step by step, very clear. First thing, we're going to make sure that the options, if we type options in the command, by the way, you always have to check up here what I'm typing, and I will say it, but just make sure that whatever is typed here, you're doing the same. In options, as you know, can check whatever options here in Rhino. If you go to units, by the way, I'm using Rhino 5, but if you're using Rhino 4, there's no problem. You just have to go to the same spots. It will be slightly different, the layout of what you see, but it's at the end of the day, it's the exact same thing what I'm talking about. Okay, we're gonna make sure in units that we're in feet. Okay, perfect. Decimal, etc. We're going to say okay, and that means that, as you know, the distance between the grid vertices is going to be 1 unit, in this case feet. Okay, we're going to do a box, so we type box, enter, and make sure that grid snap is on and snap to the center, which is where the green and the red line appear. You can see how this is the C plane. We want to start our box from that exact same point, and we're going to type 30, okay, which is 30 feet base building. Now I'm going to press enter again, which means if you read in the top left here, it means that it will use 30 as well for the other length, and if you read again, press enter, use width. If I press enter again, it will use the same number, 30. So we have a box of 30 by 30 by 30 feet. Okay, I'm going to measure this so we know that's really happening. I'm going to go Control Tab to the top or double click, as you know. We can use this drafting and use horizontal dimensions to measure this. It says 30. Good. And we're going to probably need to use another one. 30. I'm going to go to the front view and use the vertical dimension here. It says 30. So it's good. Things are measuring 30 by 30 by 30. I want to actually make a render with these numbers. So that means that I will try to, I'm going to change the style of these dimension marks. So I'm going to delete them, press selecting and deleting. And I'm going to go to the options. I'm going to go to annotations, dimensions, and I will use, I think, foot. Let me see if this one works better. Okay. Select and place 30 feet. There you go. Select 30 feet. And if we go to the front view, vertical, and 30 feet. Perfect. So now they're big and nice. What I did again is options. I went to annotation dimensions, and there were some prepare styles. If you don't have styles that are prepared, you can basically go to your default and change some of the settings here, such as mainly the text height. You're gonna have to place it much bigger, no? So these are the settings that I'm using now if you want to just copy them and have them set for your own purpose. Okay, great. So okay, so we have that. I'm gonna select and place the box in this layer, change object layer by right clicking on the layer, change object layer. That means it turns red, like this color. I'm gonna select the box, I'm gonna explode it, type explode and select. That means that now we have different planes that we can use. And what I'm gonna do is rebuild, type rebuild and say 13, 13, 3, 3. And as you can see here, with no other checking thing, say okay. It means that we have created more of these lines, subdivision lines for this particular plane, which is where we're going to place our facade. Okay, I'm going to select that face, the one that we have rebuilt it, and I'm going to place in layer 2. Change object layer. It means that now it's purple. Double click. I'm going to change the name, call it facade. Enter, and I'm going to double click here and call it box. Great. Let me check here so it's in the default. I'm going to change the material because I want to render this. The material for the box I wanted. So if you remember, we have to press the circle, the symbol that is right next to the box, not the box, if we want to change the material. Now this is a little bit different, but at the end of the day it's the same as Rhino 4. You would change the color. I'm going to use a light gray. Okay. Okay, and for the facade I'm going to press the circle, press it there, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker just to emphasize it, and probably some glossiness and transparency. I'll put it in 50%. Okay, press OK. That means that if I render here very fast, where's the render tools, if you're not in Rhino 5 again, you have to just follow and search for the blue sphere. We're gonna have this, no? Quite straightforward. Let's see what else we can do. Let's create a plane for the floor. We type plane, press enter, and create a very big plane. Let's make sure that none of these subdivision lines cross the object. So something like this. You see, subdivision lines are not like in the middle. And we're gonna place ourselves here. We're gonna not select anything, which means we select outside whatever objects we have, and we're gonna go to properties and change the projection to parallel, because all the renders we're gonna do are in parallel, so they're axonometries. Okay, and we're gonna place ourselves in a nice position that allows us to see this better. Good. We're gonna right click on perspective, we're gonna set view, name views. This is slightly new, but at the end of the day, again, it's the same. You have to look for the save that Rhino 4 has. There's a save here in the right. You press it and you call it, you know, my view. You can even call it 1 and say okay. That will be here. You can close this with no problem, and you can just travel around and do whatever you want. That view will be saved down here if you go through the same path. Right clicking, set view, view 1, it will go right there. Okay, let's introduce a light. I'm control tabbing to the front view, probably. It's a good one. And we're gonna select the directional light and press 1 in the middle, another one in the top, as if it was the sun. Okay, we're gonna go to the top view, and I'm gonna rotate this view so we have an angle type of shading. Probably here is nice. Let me see. Yeah, I like it there. So again, I'm in perspective in the my view 1, but I have to go to that view if I want to fix it up. So right click, set view, my view. There we go. Perfect. So we have our view, and we can render and see what we get. It's quite dark, makes sense. We probably want the shadow in the opposite direction, so let me go to this view and rotate the light again from the center, pressing here in the center, here, rotate like that. I'm going to control tab to my view 1, right click, my view, doesn't change, render again. Okay, getting better. We don't see the shadow, so I'm going to rotate again. It's kind of a little painful, but it's important that we get the shadows where we want. Let's do that. For example, we're in this view and render again. I like this shadow. Okay, so for now it's perfect. Let's see what else we can do. By the way, we should save by now. I'm going to save in the desktop and call it main facade. Enter. I'm going to go to the front view. And I'm going to go to drafting and also place a couple of measurements here. Probably not the vertical. 3 feet, sorry, as we mentioned. I'm going to have all these numbers, which are going to be nice to show. So last thing is go to that view. We're going to go to rendering. We're going to right click on the rendering, not the normal click, right click. And we go directly to the rendering options. We're going to go 3200, which is totally necessary. We want a very good render. We're going to set this to 150 and medium quality for anti-aliasing. This is like the line, the edges, how nice we want them to be. Okay, doesn't matter. We don't see the background, so you know that you should not see the background when you render, so that's fine. And here at the bottom, also in Rhino 4, we want to render curves, render surface edges and isocurves, and dimensions and text. So we can also get these little details. I'm gonna go to layers and let's see what happens. It's gonna take longer, obviously, because the render is a very high quality render, it's 3000, but that's good because when we take it to InDesign, it's gonna look very nice. Now let's see how the render isocurves and other curves appear. So okay, it seems like it's not good, but you can zoom in and you see there's very good quality. It's fine. The lines are in black. Now we probably don't want this in red, and as you can see, comparing the layers with what we get in the render is that the lines are the color of the box here. So we don't want this purple. What I'm gonna do is close this, check the box, change it to a white, and check the box for the box and change it to black. Another thing that we want to do is right click on the sphere again and change the ambient light. It's quite strong, the light is too strong, so we probably want to lower this a bit to gray. Okay, okay, and I think we're ready to render for the last time. Takes a while, of course, but it looks much better. The lines will come afterwards, even if you think they're not coming, they will. And there we go, it's better quality. So we go to file, and I recommend saving the file as TIFF if you have it here. Here is TIFF. Call it facade 1. Say save, close, and save the file. And that's it. This is the first tutorial. Hope you liked it.